In Pakistan, you hear gunfire,
Yeah.
and it could mean celebration. A wedding, maybe a birth,
Yeah.
but it could also mean tragedy.
Exactly. It's this really striking paradox.
Yeah, I mean, just look at New Year's Day 2025. In Karachi, 29 people hit by stray bullets.
Mm-hmm.
Just days later, a man dies at his own cousin's wedding from celebratory fire.
It's shocking.
And guns there, they're not just tools. They're heirlooms, status symbols. There's this whole craft around gun making that's, well, booming.
Mm-hmm.
So today, we want to sort of unpack that. We're doing a deep dive into this culture where tradition and, frankly, danger collide. And, if you're like us, always curious about the stories behind the headlines, trying to find those surprising connections,
Yeah.
we often get amazing insights from places like Mind Expansion Daily. They're great for this kind of thought-provoking stuff.
Oh, right.
Definitely check them out. Like and subscribe to Mind Expansion Daily if you want more content that makes you think.
Good recommendation. And it fits because this relationship with guns in Pakistan, it goes way back. It's deeply woven into the history, the culture, much more than just self-defense.
Okay, so let's get into that. How deep does this gun culture actually run? You said history and culture.
Well, think about the tribal regions like Khyber Pakhtunkhwa or Balochistan. For centuries, the state hasn't always had a strong presence there.
Right, remote areas.
Exactly. So carrying a gun became essential. It was about necessity, about protecting your family, your land, your honor.
So less a choice, more a requirement.
In many ways, yes, especially for groups like the Pashtuns. An AK-47, for instance, isn't just seen as a weapon. It's a symbol. It signifies honor, respect. These guns are often passed down like legacies. Displaying them can even be a sign of wealth or standing in the community. This pride, it's rooted in centuries of self-reliance.
Okay, that paints a picture. But then there's the making of these guns. That sounds like a whole other layer.
Oh, absolutely. That's where it gets really interesting. You have places like Dara Adam Kell.
I've heard of it. Sort of legendary, right?
Legendary is a good word. It's this hub operating in a kind of legal gray area. For a long time, it was even a major source of arms for Afghanistan.
Wow. And the craft itself.
It's incredible. You have gunsmiths using tools and techniques passed down for generations.
Old school methods.
Very old school, yeah. But they can replicate complex modern designs, AK-47s, M16s, pistols, sometimes in just a matter of days. It's this amazing intersection of artistry and tradition, not just manufacturing.
An art form, almost.
You could say that. It's a craft, a legacy. And that makes trying to regulate it incredibly difficult because it's tied up in identity.
So bringing this back to the celebrations, when does this deeply ingrained tradition, this symbol of joy, turn lethal?
That's the tragic part. Celebratory firing, shooting guns in the air at weddings, festivals, even cricket victories. It's technically illegal, but it happens all the time.
Everywhere.
Pretty much widespread, yes. And what goes up must come down.
Right. Stray bullets.
Exactly. And they come down randomly, often far from the celebration. We hear these awful stories, that 6-year-old child killed in January, Hayat Fatima Sikandar just standing on her balcony.
Just random innocent victim.
Completely random. The very act meant to express joy creates these incredibly dangerous situations. It turns community spaces into, well, zones where you could be hit by a stray bullet at any moment. It's a terrible paradox.
Beyond the celebratory firing, though, what's the wider effect of having so many guns around on crime, on just general feelings of safety?
It definitely fuels other problems. In cities like Karachi, easy access to guns contributes significantly to street crime, robberies, kidnappings.
Makes sense.
And it goes beyond that. Guns are sometimes used for intimidation within families or communities, sadly, even against women and children. It enables a sort of domestic terror in a way.
That's chilling.
And it all feeds into this illegal arms trade, which kind of normalizes violence. When you add in the context of rising terrorist activity in parts of the country, well, this pervasive gun culture really undermines peace and security for everyone. It creates this background hum of fear.
So when you put it all together...
Yeah, if you look at the big picture, it's this incredibly complex legacy, isn't it? Yeah. You've got this amazing craftsmanship, these deep traditions of, honor and hospitality, a history where guns were necessary for survival. But on the other hand, you have the constant fear, the stray bullets, the crime, the instability it breeds.
Right.
And it leads to this really difficult question, I think. How does a nation hold on to its cultural pride, its history, while dealing with the very real, very deadly consequences that spill out into the streets every day? There's just no easy answer.
Wow. That really captures the complexity. A lot to think
Wow.
about there. This has been a truly insightful deep dive. Hopefully it's given you, our listeners, a new perspective on a really complicated issue.
Indeed.
Until next time, keep exploring.